So we started our day waking up in our tent, and we wanted to see the sunrise over at Train Trestle Falls. So we started our morning by, we hopped in our car to get there quicker. It was about a mile from our camp spot to where the trail started. So we took our hot chocolate and green tea, and we started down the trail to Train Trestle Falls. It was about a mile and a half down, and it was really scenic and beautiful. And when we got there, we were slightly disappointed by the lack of train trestles. So we went up a little bit to look a little further once we were at the train trestles, and we didn't see anything more. We did see out towards the view, and it was beautiful, so we had our morning snack there, which consisted of a good hearty granola bar. And then after we had that, we hiked back up and out to our vehicle. We drove the 1 mile back to our camp spot, and we started picking up our camp spot. While we were doing this, we heard a tree fall like 50 feet from us. And shortly after, a guy came up and he was clearing the next section of the woods. And he's like, guys, we got people up here. So they're like, we're so sorry about that. We'll come back to this area later. And we were on our way out. It's going to take us like 3 to 5 more minutes to finish packing up. And we're like, just 3 to 5 minutes and we'll be out of here. And he's like, no, we'll come back later. So we get packed up and we head out. And we are planning to go to the back 40s today. So we had some big goals to get quite a few miles in. When we got there, it was great. It's a little bit more flat and a little less skilled technical there than where we had been in Bentonville prior. So that was a little bit of a change up. We did get on a route that was called, or a trail I guess, that was called Ledges. And it had a lot of warnings on it, but Walker's like, you can handle this stuff. So obviously I go along with it. And in a few clips of the video, you'll see I put my feet down a few times. After our time in the back 40s, I had gotten super exhausted and we were really worn out. So Walker looked up where we could camp and possibly get showers that night instead of roughing it at a national park or a state park where the showers are less desirable. We're just kind of looking for something a little bit more fancy and not so much work. So we got scheduled to go camp at Kohler Park, and that was amazing. It was like you checked in online, it gave you a code to get into the gate, it gave you a code to get into the bathroom and shower house. You pre-bought your firewood. When we arrived, we didn't really know what to expect, so we had a wagon, and you hiked into your camp spot. You were assigned a car parking spot. At the camp spots, there were a variety of different types. You had your tent camping site, you had RV camping sites, and you had some van parking spots. And we got to explore a little bit more, and when we were there, we found that the shower house had outdoor showers, which were pretty cool. They were clean, well maintained. Then we went and checked out the natural spring pool, which was really refreshing after our bike ride the next morning. And finally, the camp spot. They had nice platforms. They had hooks to secure your tent down on the platform. The fire pit was raised and is pretty modern throughout the whole campground. So we camped there overnight. Then the next morning we hit the trails right away because we wanted some time at the trails before we had to pack up our tent, and we're hoping that our tent dried out a little bit. So right away, headed over to the trails, hit a black diamond. I didn't have glasses on. It was really frustrating. I was like, Walker, I'm not having this today. And he's like, well, what's wrong? I was like, first off, can't see. So we ended up going back. I grabbed some, I can't remember if I got glasses or contacts, but either way, it made the trip a lot easier after that. We also went and found some more groomed trails that were blue, so moderate, and they were a lot easier for me to do first thing in the morning. It was like 6 a.m. We rode those quite hard for quite a while. Then we wanted to get back to our camp spot so we could go enjoy the natural spring pool before we showered. So we did that. Went and showered. Walker enjoyed the outdoor shower. I just enjoyed the general shower. Was clean, wonderful. It was a really good place to camp for sure. Then we finished packing up our tent, and we headed just a mile away to another parking lot so that we could keep riding at Kohler Park. So we went back over, and we had seen this barbecue restaurant that had interested us a few days ago, so we actually decided that we're going to eat there for lunch today. We then spent the rest of the day riding in Bentonville, and we hit some features that we already had earlier in the week. We headed over to the skills park, where I practiced some jumps and some drops, and then after that we headed to the castle, which was amazing. They did have a run or two closed, but overall it was still really good. We really enjoyed it. That might have been our favorite trail, actually. The features were just so smooth once again, and yeah, it was great.
Oh, steep. Oh!